Broadcasting more than 2,000 games live and archived in 15 sports in over 10 counties in western Pennsylvania, as well as being the exclusive home for all the WPIAL playoffs and championships for nearly 2 decades. Anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Welcome to coverage of WPIAL basketball 2017-2018 here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. High school basketball at tribhssn.triblive.com is sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by AstroTurf, by Carlow University, proud sponsor of the 2018 WPIAL Girls Basketball Playoffs, and by Trib Total Media.
Good evening and welcome to continuing coverage of the 2017-18 WPIAL Boys Basketball season here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, as tonight we bring you a key matchup in the 2A Section 1 between the homestanding Serra Catholic Eagles and the visiting Jeannette Jayhawks. I'm Sean Meyers alongside my broadcast colleague Greg Finley here in McKeesport. Serra Catholic High School is the venue for a matchup of the top 2 teams in the section, as the homestanding Eagles enter play tonight 8-1 in the conference, 15-2 overall. On the other side, the Jeannette Jayhawks 7-1, 13-2 overall. Greg, this is a highly anticipated rematch. The first one between these teams at Jeannette came down to the buzzer and then some. It was extra minutes to determine the Jayhawks to be ultimately the better team.
Yeah, Shamon Jackson hit a baseline jumper in double overtime to give Jeannette that win over Serra Catholic. Anthony Johnson had 18 points for Jeannette, and he won't be playing tonight. Robert Kennedy and Trey Cunningham added 15 each for Jeannette. And the Serra Catholic coach, Justin Walther, told us that his team shot 2 of 11 from the free throw line in the loss to Jeannette, and that just can't happen when it comes to overtime. So it really hurt Serra Catholic in overtime, losing that game.
So for the Eagles, it's about redemption tonight, and as you mentioned, they should have a good opportunity because the best player, at least the leading scorer and leading rebounder for the Jayhawks, Anthony Johnson, out. He was injured in practice last Thursday. Did not play in the section victory at Springdale that the Jayhawks won convincingly, or the big showdown against Leechburg, that a game that Jeannette also won, albeit just by 6 points, and then they also knocked off Paula Ridge in non-section play. They're 3-0 without Johnson recently, but it seems like he will be a massive void. How can they replace his production?
Well, it's going to be tough, especially going up against Jimmy Moon, the junior at 6'8", who we will be seeing coming off the bench tonight. But it's going to be tough for Jeannette. They definitely have to knock down their shots. And inside the paint, they're not going to be able to use that guy in Anthony Johnson, who's 6'4", going up against Moon, who's 6'8". So it'll be tough, but they're going to have to knock down shots to stay in it.
On the other side for Serra Catholic, you mentioned the foul shooting needs to be much improved from the first time around, but this is a team that really has the arrow pointing up. After going 8-14 and 4-8 in section play, missing the postseason a year ago under the guidance of Justin Walther in his first year, year number 2 has been a big turnaround for the head coach for Serra Catholic. What are going to be keys to their success tonight, in addition to, I guess, playing better in a big game situation?
Oh, yeah, 15-2 Serra Catholic and a 13-2 Jeannette. It's battle for first place in this game, and I think it's just going to be about giving the ball to Jimmy Moon down low. He's going to have the advantage because Johnson's not going to be playing. He had 18 points in the last game. It was him against Moon for the most part in that game. Now you're going to have a better advantage if you're Jimmy Moon. For Serra Catholic as well, you have Malik Edmondson, who's averaging 14.2 points per game, and Khalil Smith, who's averaging 14 points per game. I expect them to be involved very well in this game as well.
Looking around this section, we mentioned these teams battling for first place. Leechburg at 6-4, Springdale 5-4, Greensburg Central Catholic, a team perennially among the best in the WPIAL, is just 4-6 this year. Summit Academy 2-8, Riverview 0-8. We will have the opening tip-off in the starting lineups in just a matter of moments. We'll take a quick break. You are listening to and watching 2017-18 WPIAL Boys Basketball. It's here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Back here at Serra Catholic High School, let's now take a moment for the national anthem.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
National anthem setting the tone for this marquee matchup in the 2A classification on this cold, wintry Friday night in McKeesport, Serra Catholic High School. As the starting lineups just about set to be introduced, we will give them as well. Doing the honors, my broadcast colleague, Greg Finley.
Okay, so for Serra Catholic, the home team, the Eagles, will have senior at 6 foot, number 2, Malik Edmondson, number 3, Khalil Smith, the junior at 5'9", number 5, Nate McCullough, the senior at 5'7", number 20, Chris Salemi, the junior at 6'2", and number 4, Ryan Andrikanik, senior at 5'7". For Jeannette, number 1, Robert Kennedy, the senior at 6 foot, number 2, Seth Howard, the junior at 6'1", number 3, Trey Cunningham, the senior at 6'3", number 4, Marcus Barnes, the junior at 6'2", and number 11, AJ Sharp, the junior at 5'9".
So the starting lineups once again for the visiting Jayhawks. It's number 1, Kennedy, number 2, Howard, number 3, Cunningham, number 4, Barnes, number 11, Sharp. On the other side for the homestanding Serra Catholic Eagles, number 2, Edmondson, number 3, Smith, number 5, McCullough, number 11, Lawson, and number 20, Salemi. As you see the starters being introduced now for Serra Catholic under the guidance of second-year head coach Justin Walther. Won WPIAL championship for Serra Catholic. It came back in 2008. Coincidentally, won WPIAL title for Jeannette also in 2008. These teams won the same year. They were in different classifications then. Jeannette under the guidance of ninth-year head coach Adrian Batts. As you can see, Serra Catholic wearing the home white jerseys with the black numbers and lettering with red outline. Jeannette wearing the road blue jerseys with the white numbers and the red outlines. And Greg, one thing that Coach Batts has mentioned throughout this season is how important it was for his players to have success on the gridiron. The vast majority of these players won a WPIAL and state football championship. Some of them won a baseball championship as well. And that certainly has translated that winning culture to the basketball floor.
Yeah, Jeannette's always had a good program, especially in football and basketball. You remember Terrell Pryor, who went to Jeannette, plays in the NFL now. They have good talent coming out of this high school.
So Jeannette will be going right to left. As you see it, Serra Catholic left to right, playing 4 8-minute quarters here at the high school level. As we're just about set for tip-off. Chris Lackner manning the camera for this video broadcast. As the Jayhawks win the tip with A.J. Sharp gaining possession. Now Trey Cunningham has it. Cunningham has really stepped up his game in the absence of Anthony Johnson. Very methodical opening possession for Jeannette. Now Cunningham's going to take a deep three, and he knocks it down. Several feet behind the arc. Trey Cunningham makes it 3-0 Jayhawks.
Well, that was too easy. He was wide open, moved the ball around just him and his teammate, and he just takes the shot and buries it.
Now Edmondson with the dribble for Serra Catholic. Defended by Seth Howard. Edmondson gets inside. Difficult shot off the glass, a bit strong. Tipped around. Edmondson gets it right back. Now kicks it out to Smith. Smith moves it to the far side. Three-pointer off the mark. Basketball tipped around, ultimately corralled defensively by Jeannette. That was Salemi who missed the open jumper. Now Cunningham comes the other way, and he's called for the offensive foul. He extended that free arm to create separation.
Yeah, Salemi gets his feet set, and you get the arm extension from Cunningham to knock him over. You're going to get called for that 10 times out of 10.
59 seconds into this contest. Jeannette up 3-0 over Serra Catholic. Now the Eagles facing full court pressure, get it into the front court with Salemi. Dishes across, beautiful feed, an easy layup cutting through for Bernard Lawson. First points for Serra Catholic.
That's just a great job getting through the press and finding the open Lawson by Salemi. Great job.
Jeannette holding a 1-point lead. Now Howard from the corner open, but the shot comes up a bit short. Offensive rebound, a putback by Barnes doesn't go either. Serra Catholic with the basketball. Malik Edmondson taking it coast to coast. Can't get the shot to go, but is fouled and will head to the line. So Edmondson's been active in the early going.
Interesting that you get the foul called by the official over here at half court and not the official underneath the basket.
So Edmondson 4-2 shots. First one a bit strong. We mentioned foul shooting needs to improve, especially in the late game situations for Serra Catholic. Second one now for Edmondson. That one comes up short. Basketball tipped around and Sharp comes up with it. Now Robert Kennedy gets to the hoop uncontested. That's too easy for Robert Kennedy. It's 5-2. Jeannette holding the 3-point lead. Edmondson throws down to the low post with Lawson. Drives baseline, passes tipped, but ends up with Salemi. Now a beautiful feed underneath and an easy layup for Khalil Smith. Great passing.
Fantastic find underneath. Smith with a little bit of a move to get out of the way from his defender.
It's 5-4. Now a three-pointer misses everything by Cunningham. Missed badly on that look. Rebound to Smith. Now Salemi drives inside. Dishes off to Lawson. Smith gives it back to Lawson. Came in a little hot, but he was able to corral it. Salemi drives the baseline. Contorts his body, but a little strong in the layup, and a good rebound by Robert Kennedy. Kennedy now pulls up, kicks into the corner. Cunningham thought about a three, passes up for a better shot. He knocks down the 12-foot jumper. 5 points for Trey Cunningham. The lead up to 7-4 for Jeannette. Now Salemi drives inside, absorbs contact, can't get the shot to go. Basketball's tipped around. Salemi on the floor. Howard dives for it as well. It'll be a jump ball. Good effort both ways, especially by Salemi, who missed the shot. And ultimately, possession error will keep it with Serra Catholic as Moon checks into the contest. We talked about him, and Jackson Pruitt on the other side for Jeannette takes the floor for the first time.
Yeah, Jimmy Moon averaging 16.7 points per game, and he gets 12.5 rebounds per game. an absolute force for this Serra Catholic team. Coming off the bench tonight, we'll see what he does.
Lawson gets the basketball on the inbound, then gives up to Edmondson. Moon, a towering figure out there for Serra Catholic. He's grown a lot just from a year ago. Now they get the basketball inside to him. Spins against the double team, loses his footing, no travel. Threw the ball up desperately. Kennedy comes up with it. Now Howard ahead of the pack. Looked like he had a layup. Kicks it back out to Cunningham. Now Seth Howard drives in, goes off of glass. It was much more difficult, but he got the 2 points nonetheless. As a timeout called, it is 9-4 in favor of Jeannette. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Good start for the Jayhawks, and Seth Howard passed up the first. Maybe a questionable decision, but ultimately he was able to cap it off with 2 points on the possession.
Yeah, he went right at Jimmy Moon too, and instead of going for the contact, he kind of leaves it short and goes with a floater attempt off the glass, banks it home, but only one three-pointer made by Jeannette so far. They've taken a couple, probably not a bad idea to fake the shot and drive the lane like he did, and he made it count.
That's Greg Finley. I'm Sean Meyers here on the call at Serra Catholic High School in McKeesport. Good start for the Jayhawks. 4:38 remaining in quarter number one. They hold a 9-4 lead over Serra Catholic. Moon did not start this contest for the Eagles. He's out there now, along with Edmondson, Lawson, Smith, and the fifth player, McCullough. Edmondson on the near side, gets it into Moon against the double team, quickly kicks it out. And the pass is stolen by Sharp. He loses the handle, trickles out of bounds. Which way is it going? It'll be Serra Catholic basketball.
A great read on defense by Sharp, but he just loses the basketball, and for Serra Catholic, lucky to get the basketball back off the turnover.
Sharp in his first year with Jeannette, previously played for Greensburg-Salem. Ball on the perimeter for the Eagles, with McCullough now in possession. Moves it to Khalil Smith. Now Edmondson gets it to Moon down low, nearly called for a travel, stayed with it, misses the first. Second one doesn't go, but a foul committed. Looked like dangerously close to a travel by Moon. I know the Jayhawks were looking for it, but instead, Moon will head to the charity stripe.
Well, it's interesting how Jeannette's going with the zone defense, a 2-3, and they're bringing in more pressure to double Moon when he gets the basketball underneath. It's more of like a Bucks in 1-2-2 zone, and they're just throwing two guys at Moon.
Third team foul charge to the Jayhawks as Moon strokes the first. That makes the score 9-5 in favor of Jeannette. Second one upcoming for Jimmy Moon. That shot is swished as well. So Moon, a perfect 2 of 2, makes it 9-6. Cunningham with the basketball up top. Now gets inside all the way to the cup. Contact at the bottom. It's going to be a block and an and-one opportunity for Trey Cunningham.
He just went right at the basket. Moon tries to make a play, and he gets called, and great finish by Cunningham for the and-one attempt here.
They're not putting the fouls up on the board. I believe that was charged to Lawson. So the score now 11-6, pending the foul shot. That shot is good for Cunningham. What a start for him. He's been terrific. As he'll now head to the bench. The score 12-6 in favor of Jeannette. They've doubled up Serra Catholic so far, just about halfway through this opening stanza. First place on the line in Section 1 of the 2A classification. McCullough gives to Moon. Now back up top to McCullough. To the near side with Smith. Moon constantly double teamed when he catches the basketball. Now he's going to take a shot from near corner, and he strokes it from distance. Jimmy Moon, his first field goal, he's up to 5 points.
Not only can he be a force inside the paint, he can knock down the three ball as well.
12-9 in favor of the Jayhawks now. As Howard passes to Kennedy. Those two both played quarterback this season for Jeannette. Howard trying to get to the cup, loses the handle, basketball stolen. Edmondson has it. Now he cuts to the middle. He's cut off, so dishes back to Smith. Three-pointer up, well off the mark. Moon got the rebound. It was about to fall to the court, so threw it up. Jeannette comes up with the basketball. Now a fast break for the Jayhawks. Kennedy's pass partially tipped, ended up to Howard, but he couldn't get it to go, and big Jimmy Moon cleans up the glass. Now McCall is going to take a transition three, misses badly, but backdoor layup for Malik Edmondson following the miss.
Edmondson was in the right place for that shot to be missed long. He misses it short. It's going to be a Jeannette basketball, but misses it long and right to Edmondson.
Just a 1-point game, 2:31 remaining, period number 1. Jeannette up 12-11. Kennedy tightly covered by Edmondson. Now he passes down low to Barnes. Barnes is double teamed, kicks it out. Pruitt's jumper, that one in and out. Halfway down for Jackson Pruitt, but iron unkind. Now Moon in the corner, picks up the dribble, gives to Edmondson. McCullough thought about a three, but moves it into the near corner. Basketball all around the perimeter here for the Eagles. Now Moon on the low block, spins inside, splits a double team up and good. What a move by Jimmy Moon, showing great patience, giving Serra Catholic its first lead at 13-12.
You get your big guy coming off the bench, and he gets you 7, and he gets you the lead if you're Serra Catholic.
He just looks so much bigger than when I saw him a year ago. As Kennedy picks up the dribble. Now Sharp has it on the far side. Throws it to Kennedy, spins around, double team, so he kicks it to a wide open Howard. Three-pointer just grazes front iron. Moon with the rebound. Less than a minute and a half left in period number 1. Transition three by McCullough, a bit strong, and a good rebound by Barnes. Coach Batts screaming for a timeout, finally gets it awarded. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. It's a good start for Jeannette in this one, Greg. They held a sizable lead of 9-4, but Jimmy Moon off the bench really has changed the complexion.
Yeah, it's been the Jimmy Moon show for Serra Catholic. He has 7 points and just 2 points from Edmondson, 2 points from Smith, and 2 points from Lawson, knocking down 2 of 2 from the free throw line. A three-pointer, he's getting doubled underneath. Doesn't matter. He's able to make nice moves and get the ball up and in.
So during this timeout, what do you think? I mean, we're not too far from it, but what do you think Coach Batts is telling his team right here to make sure that they get momentum back?
Well, I mean, they're leaving some open three-pointers for Serra Catholic. They're not getting knocked down, but I think he's saying you got to close out on those. And I mean, what else can you do if you're doubling Jimmy Moon? You can't triple him, and then it's just going to leave guys open even more. So you just got to do what you got to do. Try and get open looks on offense and knock down your shot. They're not doing anything wrong right now. They just got unlucky on that last drive.
Serra Catholic, a very good offensive team, averages 67.6 points per game. Jeannette not far behind, 63.9. As the Jayhawks trigger in. Cunningham with the basketball. Dribbles behind the arc. He's tightly defended by Salemi. Some contact play continues. Now Sharp has it. Did not use the screen. Gets inside. More contact. No whistle. Serra Catholic with the basketball. Edmondson comes up with it. Officials certainly letting them play. We'll tell you those officials at the next stoppage. Smith with the basketball, moves it up top to Malik Edmondson. Into the contest, Ryan Andrikanek for Serra Catholic, number 4. As Moon gets it down low off of glass, and he powers that one through. The terrific first quarter continues for Moon. It's 15-12 Serra Catholic.
Made a nice move. He got doubled, spun, threw it off glass, and got it to fall. Great quarter by Moon.
Less than 30 seconds remaining now in the opening stanza. Cunningham picks up the dribble, gives it to Barnes. Now Kennedy has it, uses a pick, gets it to Cunningham in the corner. His three-pointer off a front iron and short. Moon with the rebound, hands off to Khalil Smith. Beautiful feed. Edmondson ahead of the pack, can't get it to go. Follow-up doesn't go as well. Barnes comes down with it. Basketball on the floor, final seconds. Jeannette has an opportunity. Sharp down low. The layup just off the mark for Marcus Barnes. Quarter number 1 has come to an end. It is 15-12 in favor of Serra Catholic over Jeannette. We'll step aside. You are watching 2017-18 WPIAL basketball. It's here. It's on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
On social media this season for breaking news, scores, pictures, videos, links to our articles, and more. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle Trib Live HSSN. Get in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/Trib Live HSSN. And on our YouTube channel, you can find thousands of interviews with local student athletes and coaches, plus highlights and full games. The spot for Western Pennsylvania high school sports on social media this season is the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
This is the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Sean Meyers, Greg Finley on the call here at Serra Catholic High School. And Greg, after a slow start, the Eagles finished strong in that first quarter. They now hold a 15-12 lead.
Yeah, you bring Jimmy Moon off the bench when you're losing in this game for Serra Catholic. He gets you 9 points. He's your top scorer. It was an interesting call whenever we were told that he wasn't going to start. But he brings the spark off the bench and gets Serra Catholic the lead after the first quarter.
It's worth repeating who is absent for Jeannette. Anthony Johnson, a terrific junior, missed most of last season. After coming to Jeannette via transfer, he was deemed ineligible, only played in a handful of games. He has been an absolute force this season for the Jayhawks, but an injury has him sidelined. Should be back pretty soon. I know that they would love to have him for this game. Jeannette going right to left as we see it in the blue jerseys, down by 3. Cunningham moves it to Sharp up top. Now Cunningham drives, pull-up jumper. That one a bit strong, and a nice rebound by Edmondson. Now he pushes into the front court. Gets the foul line, kicks it back. Andrikanic dishes to the corner, wide open three-pointer. That one off the mark by Joe Glusick. Basketball out of bounds, and will stay with Serra Catholic. Salemi to trigger in. Not a lot of real estate here on the baselines at this high school. As he bounces into traffic, Salemi able to catch, or excuse me, that was Glusick able to catch it. And now Salemi's drive is short-circuited as he loses the handle. Sharp comes the other way, can't get the shot to go. Defensive rebound. Glusick goes down to the floor. He's charged for the travel. Physical play in this contest.
Yeah, he comes down with the hard-fought rebound. One of the Jeannette players, I believe it was Barnes, gets a hand on the basketball, looking for a tie-up, and then he kind of just throws him on the ground, and they call travel.
Howard in, Pruitt out for the Jayhawks. Jeannette basketball, just 51 seconds into this second quarter. Howard gets the lob pass. And now Sharp has it on the far side. Moves it up top. Cunningham's three-pointer swished. Trey Cunningham, his second trifecta, ties the contest at 15.
Cunningham had 32 points in the win against Apollo Ridge. He's having himself a good start to this game with 11 points.
I talked to Damon Andring, the head coach for Apollo Ridge, last night. He said we had no answer for number 3. As the basketball nearly thrown out of bounds by Serra Catholic. But Edmondson slows it down, has a little bit of room. Now dishes off to Glusick, who's called for a travel. That one much more of a traditional travel against Glusick.
Yeah, he moved before he started his dribble, and you're going to get called for that for sure.
Substitution for the Eagles, 6:29 remaining, quarter number 2. Just 3 points so far in this frame, courtesy of the trifecta by Cunningham. Sharp with the dribble, defended tightly by McCullough. Now a bounce pass nearly slipped out of his hands, but Howard has it. To the near corner with Cunningham. Dangerous pass, it's tipped and stolen by McCullough. He's ahead of the pack. Layup is swatted away by Sharp. Great recovery. Ball will stay with the Eagles, but that's great effort by A.J. Sharp.
That's a fantastic play by Sharp. Gets in the way of the layup attempt by McCullough, gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds. It's a clean block.
Salemi to trigger in, gets it to Moon. Not much real estate, but Moon makes it work, and now he kicks it back up top to Andrikanic. He dishes across to McCullough. Sharp all over him. Now Edmondson takes a difficult shot. That one rattled out. Moon follows it, puts it off of glass. No good. He follows his miss again. Comes up short, and a great rebound underneath by Trey Cunningham.
Moon just doing it himself. Unable to finish, but made a good effort.
Howard with the basketball, uses a screen, but then dishes off to A.J. Sharp. Cunningham on the left wing, thought about the three, moves it back to Howard. Coach Batts barking out instructions to his team. What said he wants to run here. Sharp dishes to Kennedy. Robert Kennedy, one of the best football players in the state this past year. Now Howard loses the basketball. It's picked right away McCullough drives in, throws it up off of glass. It is good. Excuse me, that's Andrew Kanik. A 2-point field goal and a chance for a 3-point play as he heads to the line.
That's a great finish by Andrew Kanik with the left hand. Gets fouled and puts it high off the backboard and in.
Did you happen to catch the foul on that one?
Marcus Barnes is going to get charged for the foul.
So Andrew Kanik to try to extend his team's lead. He's put them ahead courtesy of that field goal at 17-15 in favor of the home squad. 5:09 remaining, quarter number 2. And the shot's good. So Andrew Kanik, the 3-point play, makes it 18-15. Cunningham slowly dribbles across the timeline. Now a dish down low. Mellick Gordon into the contest for the Jayhawks. One of the top reserves. As Kennedy probing inside, loses the handle. Andrew Kanik has it. Now he pushes a pass ahead, but a dangerous one and easily intercepted by Cunningham. Cunningham feeds down low to Kennedy. Nice catch, ran out of real estate, throws it back to Barnes. Barnes now kicks it out to Sharp. Kennedy drives baseline, hands off again to Barnes. His shot misses badly. Moon playing volleyball, smacks it out of there, but it stays with Jeannette. Now a deep 3 by Cunningham, misses to the right. Probably not the shot the Jayhawks were looking for. Drive inside by Salemi, a lot of contact. No call, comes down with the basketball. Now McCullough, wide open 3, misses off of the glass. Rebound to Sharp. Ahead to Kennedy. A little hesitation move off of glass is good for Robert Kennedy. His second field goal pulls the Jayhawks within 1 at 18-17.
Well, these refs are really letting them play. Some contact plays going on and just no calls.
The feed down low to Moon's tipped away. Good defense. Kennedy has it one-on-one against Andrew Kanik. Little scoop underneath and in for Robert Kennedy. Back-to-back field goals for him. A timeout taken, a full timeout as Jeannette back in front, 19-18. We'll step aside. You are watching 2017-18 WPIAL boys basketball. It's here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
For a weekly in-depth look at boys and girls high school basketball in the district, log on to the WPIAL Round Ball Report every Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Join experts Chris Harlan, Sean Meyers, and James Dotson for coaches' interviews and the latest hoops news around the WPIAL. Oh, and Don Rebel is back on the show as well. That's the WPIAL Round Ball Report, Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wow.
This is the Trib Live High School Sports Network. It is 19-18 in favor of Jeannette over Serra Catholic. Sean Meyers, Greg Finley here in McKeesport at Serra Catholic High School. Good response by the Jayhawks, and the player leading the charge, Robert Kennedy. Back-to-back buckets in transition for Jeannette.
Yeah, I mean, Serra Catholic and Jeannette, they've kind of been going back and forth in this game. Jeannette had the lead. Serra Catholic took a timeout. Serra Catholic took over with Jimmy Moon, and now you're seeing Robert Kennedy get Jeannette on a run. Now the Jayhawks have the lead back.
Serra Catholic down by 1, but with possession. Andrew Kanik dishes across. Now skip into the corner. And a three-pointer by Moon is knocked down. Jimmy Moon continues to be red hot in this contest, making it 21-19 Serra Catholic.
Can't leave him open in the corner, and that's what Adrian Batts is telling his team. Saying, why weren't you covering that?
Now the Jayhawks throw it away. Lawson comes up with it, moves it ahead to Smith. Difficult shot tipped around. Moon follows the miss off of glass. Jimmy Moon right now is unstoppable. That makes it 23-19.
It's tough to stop a guy that's 6'8". It really is.
Kennedy inside, dishes out. Three-pointer for Gordon. Now one off of the rim high. Moon just reached out with an arm to corral it. Now Smith with the basketball. Trying to get it to Lawson, but that's cut off. Leo Smith dribbles up top and hands to Andrew Kanik. Now Andrew Kanik's three-pointer off a front iron. Kennedy comes up with it. 2-on-4 for Jeannette, so he slows it down momentarily. Now throws a beautiful feed and a semi-alley-oop that time by Trey Cunningham for the finish. 23-21.
That worked out pretty well. That could have been a sloppy play, and somehow, some way, he found Cunningham underneath for the type of alley-oop.
And an over and back violation, unforced error that time by Serra Catholic as the Jayhawks call upon Howard and Barnes back onto the floor for Serra Catholic. Edmondson returns to the game.
Try to get it back to Andrikanek, and he catches the ball as he's crossing the line. That's going to be over and back.
Howard with the dribble. Less than 2 minutes remaining in half number one. 2-point lead for Serra Catholic. This one, at least so far, appears to be much lower scoring than the first clash between these teams that went to double overtime. Cunningham nearly fumbled the basketball away, got it back, now goes into the lane. Floater, some contact with Moon, but the shot up and the shot down for Cunningham as we're deadlocked at 23. Now Serra Catholic slowing the pace down offensively in the half-court set with Andrikanek. So Lemmy goes backdoor, pass to Moon on the far side. Step back shot blocked, great defense by Marcus Barnes, and a subsequent foul. Looks like it's going to be against Moon. Indeed it is Jimmy Moon charged with the personal. That, unbelievably, is just the second team foul committed by Serra. Jeannette has 4. There's been a lot of contact. The officials have let him play both ways so far.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot of contact in this game. It's been very physical. I think the officials knew that that was going to be this kind of game, and they're just letting them play.
Howard with the basketball. Dangerous pass is caught by Pruitt. Now he kicks out. Three-pointer by Cunningham is down. Trey Cunningham, he's by far the best player on the floor for Jeannette tonight. Delay of game charge to Jeannette. That is a warning at this point. As Sharp returns to the floor for the Jayhawks, Cunningham exits. 56.5 seconds remaining in half number one. As the officials explaining that, who are our officials tonight?
Ralph Bowen, Mark Emmering, and Jake Miller.
Good job explaining exactly why the delay of game warning was given to Jeannette. As Salemi dishes off to Edmondson. He gets inside, loses the handle on the way up. Loose ball kept alive by Jeannette terrifically by Barnes. Now Sharp transition three. That one banks in. A.J. Sharp. It wasn't pretty, but he gives his team the 29-23 lead, I believe. Wasn't that a three-pointer?
That was a three-pointer.
Scoreboard showing 28. Now they've corrected it. 29-23.
He shrugged his shoulders after he made it like, yeah, I didn't mean to bank it, but all right.
He'll take it nonetheless, down to the final dozen seconds in the half. Edmondson with the basketball, gets to the lane, little floater off of glass, it's in, count it, and the foul. They called that a block against Jeannette's Jackson Pruitt, who was hoping for a charge.
Tried to set his feet, might have moved a little bit. Tough shot by Edmondson, going through traffic, going off the glass, and able to bank it home.
So now Edmondson with 5.5 seconds remaining, trying to trim his team's deficit down to 3. Packed gym here tonight at Serra Catholic High School. And the shot rattles home for Edmondson. That makes it 29-26. Final possession for Jeannette down to the final 2 seconds. Sharp in transition, gets a good look, but that shot too strong. That time could not bank it in. As a result, first half has come to an end. Jeannette holding a 29-26 lead over Serra Catholic. We'll step aside. We'll be back to give the scoring recap and our thoughts on the first 16 minutes of play. You are watching 2017-18 WPIAL basketball. It's here. It's on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
May be frightful. The winter high school sports is delightful. That's here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Log on to the Trib, hssn.triblive.com for weekly audio and video coverage of boys and girls high school basketball, WPIAL wrestling, and PIHL high school hockey. The warmth and the glow of the winter sports season may be heard daily on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Check out the new and improved Trib Live High School Sports Network website every day. Log on to hssn.triblive.com for all the schedules, the scores, the standings, great articles, and features from around the WPIAL. And, of course, live and archived broadcasts. If you are a high school sports fan, the only website you will need is the new Trib Live High School Sports Network at hssn.triblive.com.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Hi, this is Josh Roundtree with the new Trib Live High School Sports Network's PIHL Power Play Show. This winter, myself and the coach, Kevin Zlomansky, will bring you the most comprehensive coverage of high school hockey in Western PA. Hey, Kevin, any suggestions on how we can pull it off?
We're not goons. We're not bullies. No matter what people say or do, we have to be ourselves.
Okay. Well, word is that you've been letting success go to your head a bit.
Hey, what I do is none of your business. Is that clear?
This should be a fun season. It's the PIHL Power Play Show every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Recordtan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
We've reached half here at Serra Catholic High School, and so far the lead 29-26 in favor of the visiting Jeannette Jayhawks over the homestanding Eagles. I'm Sean Meyers alongside Greg Finley. We apologize for any technical difficulties we have with the commercials. We're trying to work through it the best we can. Maybe get some duct tape out. That'll fix everything. Greg, the first half was pretty exciting basketball. Jeannette led early. Serra Catholic bounced back in the second quarter, and ultimately the Jayhawks finished that second quarter strong. That's why they have the three-point edge.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Moon comes off the bench and sparks the Eagles to get the lead back right before the end of the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, Trey Cunningham just goes off, as well as Robert Kennedy on the back-to-back baskets. The defense got better for Jeannette. Yes, Jimmy Moon has knocked down 2 3-pointers, and he has 14 points. But everybody else has been locked down for Serra Catholic. You have 5 points for Edmondson, 3 from Andrikanic, 2 from Smith, and 2 from Lawson. It's pretty much been double-team Jimmy Moon if you can, and let somebody else beat you, and they're playing good defense.
We're getting a scoring recap momentarily, but first I want to let you know that if you're a working professional ready to move up in your career, Seton Hill University has a program just for you. Seton Hill's adult degree program offers flexible undergraduate degree courses in areas like accounting, criminal justice, business, and human services. The adult degree program has 5 start dates a year and offers convenient course times, financial aid, a 96% placement rate, and career services for life. Register for our next info session and learn more at setonhill.edu/ADP. Seton Hill University, this way up. Let's take a look at that scoring recap, of course, sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, powering the stay strong and play on program with the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Greg, the honors.
Yeah, Trey Cunningham leading all scoring for Jeannette, and in this game he has 18 points with 3 3-pointers in this game. Robert Kennedy with 6, A.J. Sharp with 3, and Seth Howard with 2. So just 4 players getting all the points so far for Jeannette. For Serra Catholic, Jimmy Moon leading the scoring with 14 points. He has 2 triples. Bernard Lawson with 2. 5 points for Malik Edmondson, 2 for Smith, and 3 for Ryan Andrikanek.
Scoring by quarter, Serra Catholic 15 in the first, 11 in the second. Jeannette 12 in the first, 17 in the second. One thing that really stands out, the lack of foul shots, especially for the Jayhawks. If I have this correct, just 1 of 1 at the stripe in this contest.
Yep, it was Cunningham knocking down his and one. That's been hit.
Is that something that they try to change in the second half?
I don't know if you have to. I mean, you have the lead, and Cunningham's been leading you in scoring. I mean, the refs just aren't calling stuff. It's just been a physical game. The refs are letting them play, and if you're 1 of 1 from the free throw line and you have a 3-point lead, just keep doing what you're doing. And if you get the call, you get the call.
I want to again thank our tremendous videographer, Chris Lackner, running the camera here on the stage at Serra Catholic High School. It is a tight confines here with the baseline, what would you say, maybe about 2 feet beyond the out-of-bounds line. So
yeah, about that.
If you're going hard for a layup or trying to get back defensively, you got to get the hands up, or else you're going to face plant into the wall. Nonetheless, it is a great environment. It's been a great game so far. 29-26, the lead for Jeannette at the half over Serra Catholic. We'll step aside briefly. We'll be back for quarter number 3 to begin. You are watching 2017-18 WPIAL basketball. It's here. It's on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
This is the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Sean Meyers, Greg Finley here on the call. We are at Serra Catholic High School, McKeesport. 8 minutes back up on the clock. That means we're just about set to begin quarter number 3. Once again, Jeannette holding the narrow lead. First time these teams met, it was a barn burner. Double overtime, 71-70 in favor of the Jayhawks in that contest. And really, according to head coach Justin Walther, it was the missed foul shots late and a slow start where he thought his team was a little overwhelmed. We could say maybe Jeannette, as far as the start, was able to take command once again. We'll see if the foul shots ultimately proved to be a difference in this contest. Serra Catholic with the basketball to begin this third frame, going right to left in the home white jerseys. Black numbers with the red outline. As that pass airmailed by Edmondson over the intended target, Jimmy Moon, out of bounds, turnover. Jeannette now in possession. Jayhawks wearing the road blue jerseys with the white numbers and the red trim. As Sharp dribbles into the front court. Shed Smith then gives over to Seth Howard. He dishes down low. Kennedy had his defender sealed for an easy 2-point layup. Poogie, as they call him, extends his team's lead. It's 31-26. Now dish into Moon, and he has an easy 2 points. It's too tough when he catches the ball that deep, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. The last time they tried to feed it to him, overshot him. This time a perfect feed and just too easy underneath for him.
Howard from the near side, dribbles up top, now moves it to Sharp. Thought about a 3. Now dribbling the basketball, gives off to Howard, right back to Sharp. This time he's open. Passes up with the taller Lawson closing out. 2-man game, now it's down low. Cunningham, defense forgot about him momentarily. It was Barnes with the finish. That's his first points. 33-28 Jeannette. Moon comes the other way, drives against the double team, comes up short on the layup attempt. Basketball picked up by Kennedy. Now into the front court. Beautiful feed down low to Howard. Misses a 4-footer though. Lawson cleans it up.
That's one you gotta have for Howard. Right underneath the basket, leaves it short.
Moon, nothing short about that shot, but it comes up off the back iron. Kennedy ahead of the pack, tremendous speed for an easy layup. Looked like he was gonna throw that one down. Instead, takes the safer route for 2. 35-28. Pace picking up a little bit. Serra Catholic with a 3 on a kick out. That shot no good for Smith. Rebound to Howard. Cunningham gets inside, fouled on his way to the cup. It will be on the floor. Edmondson charged with the personal. First foul of the third quarter. Kennedy to trigger in. Gets it to Cunningham. He's open. Takes a deep two-pointer and it rattles home. Just a step inside the arc for Trey Cunningham. 37-28. Jeannette starting to create some separation.
32 points in the last game. Already has 20 in this one. And we're just a little under 6 minutes here in the third quarter. He's going for it again.
Cunningham, a terrific prospect as a baseball player, as a foul charge to the Jayhawks defensively. Jeannette won a baseball title a year ago, as Barnes charged with the personal. I believe that's his second. Andrew Kanik back onto the floor for Serra Catholic.
We've been talking about how the refs have let them play all game, and now they're calling some questionable fouls, and there's been some hard contact, and they didn't call those.
Now again, consistency is always what coaches and players alike are looking for out of the officials. As Moon takes a contested three-pointer off the front iron, follows his miss. Now he has it swatted away, but is fouled in the act of shooting. He'll head to the line.
So he takes a three-pointer. It's contested by Barnes. Barnes is unable to box Moon out. Moon comes in, gets it, goes through three guys, able to get the shot off and draw the foul.
Charge to Seth Howard. Second team foul against the Jayhawks in this half. 5:21 remaining in quarter number 3. Moon to the line. As it gets eerily silent, he strokes the first. He's a perfect 3 of 3 at the stripe. Our colleague Paul Schofield here of Trib Live reporting on this game. You could read a story from him on the Trib Live High School Sports Network website, probably late tonight, early tomorrow. Moon, his second attempt, swish. And this gets off on a tangent a little bit, but Greg, I always thought when he gets that silent, it's almost more pressure on the shooter of the home team.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a little bit of casual chatter, I would think.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes silence is not always golden.
37-30 in favor of Jeannette. Sharp on the near side.
That's a better pass. That's a catch and shoot opportunity.
Now he dishes off. Barnes had a wide open 6-footer, hesitated, took the shot, and was a bit strong. Now the other way to the cup. Edmondson gets the hoop. His first points of the second half make it 37-32. Jeannette in the lead. Right back the other way. Cunningham loses the basketball. Tried to do too much that time, it appeared.
They're looking for a foul, and better be careful. He doesn't want to get a technical, but
it is standing room only here. You can see on both sides of the bleachers fans packing in to Serra Catholic High School. We have the luxury of having the stage here to call this one on the opposite side.
It's a battle for first place. You definitely want a big crowd, and it's half and half. You've heard Jeannette fans, you've heard Serra Catholic fans.
Edmondson on the left wing, drives inside, has the basketball swatted away. Great defense by Seth Howard. Howard was terrific defensively in the victory against Springdale last week. That was the first game that Jeannette played without Anthony Johnson, as he was injured in practice the day before. Coach Batts said it was a 2 to 10 day time frame on the injury. He's still out. Now Smith gets inside. Wasn't easy, but he gets it up and gets it in. Strong take by Khalil Smith. His second field goal makes it a 3-point game. 37-34 Jeannette. Howard drives baseline, now spins back, gives it to Kennedy. Kennedy, absolutely chiseled physique, gives it back to Howard. Spins inside, dishes down low. Foul occurred on the pass against Serra Catholic. Andrew Kanik charged with the personal as Jackson Pruitt back to the floor. Marcus Barnes to the bench for Jeannette. Howard gets the inbound just over halfway through this third frame. 37-34 Jayhawks in the lead. Crucial game with first place on the line. Now Kennedy, difficult shot off a front iron, offensive rebound. The putback no good for Pruitt. He stays with it. Now the ball's on the floor. Serra Catholic's Andrew Kanik has it. Big collision and a blocking foul against Sharp.
That's just a tough situation for Sharp. He's getting back on defense, and there's not much room because guys are in the way. He doesn't really have anywhere else to go. He's trying to get back. He stops and tries to draw a charge, and unfortunately for him, he gets called for the foul.
Jeannette's one section loss this season came to Leechburg. Serra Catholic's came to Jeannette in that double OT thriller. Moon gives it to Andrew Kanik. Probably about at least a foot difference between Andrew Kanik and Moon in terms of their height. As a beautiful feed into Moon, but it's swatted away from behind. Trey Cunningham came up with the block. Now he's looking to go the other way. Dishes to Sharp through his hands, out of bounds. Great play by Cunningham defensively, but that was not how the Jayhawks wanted to run that fast break.
That was a great read by Cunningham. It was 2-on-1, pass a little bit behind his teammate, and unfortunately it goes out of bounds.
Andrew Kanik, quick three off the mark. Moon cleans it up, dishes down low, up and good for Malik Edmondson. 37-36, Jeannette in the lead, but Serra Catholic knocking on the door.
Moon just an all-around player in this game. He's dishing passes, he's knocking down three-pointers underneath the basket, making blocks, and making free throws.
Howard tightly covered up top, dishes off to Sharp. Stepped into the three-pointer, can't get it, tipped around, and ultimately goes to Andrew Kanik. Now he dishes off to McCall, a transition three, just a bit strong, right to Andrew Kanik. Serra Catholic doing a nice job on the glass. Wide open for Smith. That's off the mark. Moon tips it around, runs it down. Moon's out of the play, and Serra Catholic throws the basketball away as Smith a little too hot for Edmondson to handle.
Moon with great effort, chasing down the ball, knows his teammates right in front of him, able to just dish it to him, but a sloppy pass turns the ball over.
8 straight points for Serra Catholic. Howard trying to stop that, but he's swatted away going to the rim. Smith dishes ahead to Edmondson. The layup off the mark, but a foul. And Serra Catholic's going to have a chance to get the lead back if the Eagles can convert 2 foul shots. Pruitt charged with the personal. I believe that's his third. So Edmondson to the line.
That was a hard foul. Edmondson went hard into the wall, but he looks to be okay.
As the officials maybe giving him extra few seconds as well, knowing that it was a physical foul committed. First shot off the mark for Edmondson. Back onto the floor for Jeannette. Marcus Barnes as the aforementioned Pruitt to the bench. 14 fouls against Jeannette, just 2 against Serra Catholic. 1:49 remaining in the third. Sean Meyers, Greg Finley on the call on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Second shot swished by Edmondson. Tie game, 37-37. Howard dribbles to the front court, dishes off. The pass just a little too low for Barnes. He couldn't get down to corral it. It's out of bounds.
Well, Moon comes in with his hands up on defense to make them force the bounce pass. Goes off of the foot and goes out of bounds. It's great defense.
When Moon puts his hands up, he's so tall it creates an eclipse,
yeah,
huh?
Exactly.
Get it?
He had to go with the bounce pass. And yes, I get it.
Serra Catholic trying to take the lead for the first time in this third quarter. Shot from deep on 2-point range that time by Smith, just off the mark. Sharp with the rebound. Gives it ahead to Cunningham. Beautiful move. Can't get the shot to go as it rolled off the rim. Now Smith coming the other way. Both teams looking to push the pace. Pass goes into the corner. Now Moon on the wing. To Smith. Foul line jumper. Off to the right. Cunningham the other way, dishes to Kennedy. Beautiful feed, wide open underneath for 2 points, Marcus Barnes.
That was a great play by Kennedy. He was going in for the layup, and he saw Moon was about to just reject him. He gets rid of it to a wide open Barnes.
30-second timeout taken. Jeannette back in the lead. The Jayhawks have never trailed in this third quarter. 53.8 remaining in the stanza. Once again, the winner of this game will take possession of first place. Serra Catholic 8-1, Jeannette 7-1, but does hold the tiebreaker currently, courtesy of the win head-to-head against Serra Catholic. Taking a look ahead for these teams. Jeannette will play in the Westmoreland shootout at Seton Hill University. We mentioned Seton Hill, one of our great sponsors, against Franklin Regional, and then a section game at home against Riverview, a section game on the road against Greensburg Central Catholic, and then the section finale at Riverview. So the Jayhawks against two teams near the bottom of the standings for the rest of their section. Serra Catholic plays that same Seton Hill University Westmoreland shootout tournament against Indiana, and then section games against Springdale and Leechburg before finishing up against Eden Christian in non-section play. Under a minute remaining, third quarter. Serra Catholic down by 2. McCullough with the dribble. Looks like he's content to run some time off the clock. They might be holding for the final shot here. Now down to 30 seconds left in the third. Andrew Kanik has it now. What do you think of this idea to potentially hold 40-plus seconds for a final shot?
No, it's not a bad idea. If you're down by 2, you can tie it here, take the lead, and go to the fourth quarter, but don't want to let Jeannette try and build the lead. It's a good idea, and there's no shot clock in high school basketball.
Andrew Kanik thought about a 3. Now they dish it down low. Drive inside by Glusik. He's hammered. Will head to the line with 4.1 seconds remaining. Marcus Barnes, I believe that's his third as well. So now foul trouble becoming somewhat of an issue for the Jayhawks. Their depth already being tested with Anthony Johnson, their top player, sidelined. Glusik has not scored yet. To the line for 2. First one misses everything. And the Jayhawks fans letting him know about it.
He's hearing that one.
At a home game, that's particularly tough.
And telling you, Jeannette brought a lot of fans tonight.
Second shot rattles home, so Glusik goes 1 of 2, makes it 39-38. Jayhawks Kennedy looking for a final shot. Throws it up at the buzzer off of the glass, off the mark. We have played 3 quarters so far. The lead just 1 point for the Jayhawks, 39-38 over Serra Catholic. We'll step aside. We'll be back to begin fourth quarter action. You are watching 2017-18 WPIAL basketball. It's here. It's on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Inside the WPIAL Wrestling Circle every Monday at 7 o'clock on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Each week, we'll take a look at the latest happenings on the mat from around the WPIAL, talk with coaches, and get you set for what's to come as the season rolls on. Come out and see us every Monday as the show we broadcast live from 40 Bar and Grill just west of Washington on Route 40. Inside the WPIAL Wrestling Circle every Monday night at 7 o'clock only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
This is the Trib Live High School Sports Network. It's not Monday night, though. It's Friday night hoops here at Serra Catholic High School. Jeannette holding a narrow 39-38 lead over Serra Catholic as we begin quarter number 4 with the Jayhawks in possession. Sean Meyers, Greg Finley here on the network. As a foul charge to Serra Catholic immediately when Cunningham caught the basketball as he was cutting through the lane. Edmondson second, just the team third, however. Well, this one looks like it could be following suit. First game went to double overtime. The second one just a point lead for the Jayhawks. Sharp with the basketball. Now gives to Barnes. Barnes going for the weave action, has a cut off, throws a dangerous pass, but Cunningham comes up with it, takes a three-pointer high off the mark, and a good rebound corralled by Salami. And now
3 Jayhawks underneath and 1 Eagle, and he comes down with the basketball.
Now Edmondson with the basketball. Moves it over to Glusik, to Salemi. Drives and gives it back to Glusik. He was wide open, but never looked at the rim. And now the Eagles slowing the pace down. Moon on the bench right now for Serra Catholic. Some weave action for Galusik, and now back to Andrew Kanik. We'll see if anyone looks to take a shot here for Serra Catholic. Looks like the offense with some weave action, and now finally they get it inside, and Salemi gets his first points courtesy of the layup.
Continued to swing the basketball around until they finally saw an open hole, and he took it and made it count.
Really just testing the focus of the defense when you make a play defense for that long.
Continued to swing the ball around, make the defense get off guard eventually, and that's what happened.
Kennedy comes the other way, gives the lead right back to Jeannette, 41-40 in favor of the Jayhawks. Kennedy's been very nice in this second half of play, up to a dozen points. Salemi gets inside against the double team, kicks it out. Galusik, awkward looking three-pointer off the mark. Rebound too sharp. Now Kennedy dishes back to Barnes. Basketball's tipped and out of bounds on Serra Catholic. As three players returning to the floor for the home squad, including the prolific Jimmy Moon. Joining him, Bernard Lawson and Khalil Smith.
We talked about it earlier with no Anthony Johnson for this Jeannette team with the injury. I think Trey Cunningham's done a great job taking his place pretty much, trying to match up with Jimmy Moon.
How impressive is it? Jeannette's leading this game without their best player on the road.
Very impressive, and they needed Trey Cunningham to get them 20 so far and Kennedy to get them 12. They got two guys that have done everything for this team.
2A classification, Sewickley Academy, the defending state champion. Our Lady Sacred Heart right there as well. Jeannette might be the third team in that mix. Serra Catholic making a push for that spot as well as Howard goes reverse but leaves it short. Now Smith with the basketball in the open court. Dribbles back, picks up the dribble and gives to Andrew Kanik. Back to Smith, looked like it might have been a travel. No call. Andrew Kanik has a shot swatted away. Seth Howard's had a couple of those blocks. And Shamon Jackson checks in, I believe, for the first time for Jeannette.
I believe so as well.
Jackson, a 5'10" junior. Serra Catholic to trigger from underneath the hoop. Into Moon. Thought about a three, drove inside, instead loses the handle, tosses it up after regathering off of glass and in. Jimmy Moon gives the lead back to Serra Catholic, 42-41.
Well, now him and Cunningham both have 20.
Teams keep exchanging the lead in this fourth quarter. Jeannette trying to get it right back. Gordon with the basketball, thought better of it. Now a drive in by Cunningham, a little short, had a good look at it, couldn't get it to go, out of bounds, last off at Jeannette. I think that's a shot that more times than not Cunningham is able to hit. That time just couldn't find the mark. The crowd firing up now for the home squad. Smith gets inside, and a foul on the floor by Jeannette. That's the sixth team foul. It goes on Jackson, recently inserted as Howard into the contest. Gordon to the sidelines. 42-41 Serra Catholic. 4:36 remaining in regulation. McCullough with the basketball. Now moves to Andrew Kanik, back to McCullough. Quick passing, mostly perimeter oriented here for the Eagles.
Oh.
And a bad pass stolen by Kennedy.
It's a great read by Kennedy. Knew the pass was coming to Moon.
He did that plenty of times on the gridiron as a defensive back. Now a pass down low, out of bounds. Which way is it going? It's off of Jeannette. Shamon Jackson said his arm was hit. Now the official changes the call. It will be Jayhawks basketball.
Wow. Jake Miller originally gave the ball to Serra Catholic, and Ralph Bowen says, no, that one went off the knee. It's staying with Jeannette.
Might have been able to see a familiar face sitting courtside for Jeannette. Roy Hall, the football coach, guiding his team to the state title this year, showing his support. Saw him last week as well at Springdale. He travels with Jeannette. A lot of these players, almost all of these players, were also members of the football team as Howard gets inside, dishes to Kennedy. Good kick out to Pruitt. He knocks down the 12-footer. Jackson Pruitt scores for the first time. It's a big bucket, 43-42 Jeannette. Coaches yelling out to play defensively to the Jayhawks. It doesn't matter for Malik Edmondson, up and under for two. 44-43 in favor of the home team. Kennedy comes the other way off of the front iron and it rolls out. Now Serra Catholic pushing the pace with Edmondson. Creates some contact. Basketball thrown out of bounds. Blast off of Edmondson.
How do you not call anything on that? And that's exactly what Justin Walter said.
I thought that Edmondson created the contact, but I'm very surprised that no whistle was blown on that play.
Refs are finally hearing it from this home crowd. I was wondering if that would happen because there have been some calls that have not been made.
Howard gets inside. He gets bumped and then swatted away by Moon.
Two arms in the air. He got both of them on that block.
If you're Howard, that's like running into a boulder as the basketball tipped out by Andrew Kanik. Now a timeout signaled by Serra Catholic's head coach Justin Walther. He wants to talk things over. He was a head coach at Wilson Christian Academy for 1 year, then an assistant at West Mifflin before joining the Eagles as their head coach last season. Great high school player at Central Catholic and then played collegially at both Robert Morris and the University of Pittsburgh Johnstown. As we have this timeout, gives us an opportunity to let you know about Seton Hill.
If you're a working professional ready to move up in your career, Seton Hill University has a program just for you. Seton Hill's adult degree program offers flexible undergraduate degree courses in areas like accounting, criminal justice, business, and human services. The adult degree program has 5 start dates a year and offers convenient course times, financial aid, a 96% placement rate, and career services for life. Register for our next info session and learn more at setonhill.edu/ADP. Seton Hill University, this way up.
Right now, things are looking up for Serra Catholic, holding a 1-point lead, but Jeannette with the basketball, trying to take that lead back. Kennedy gets inside, dishes out to Pruitt, and he knocks down a shot from almost an identical spot. Jackson Pruitt, all 4 points have come in the fourth quarter, 45-44 Jeannette. These teams have exchanged leads on every point, every field goal in this fourth quarter. And Drakanik dishes up top to Smith. Now a skip pass to Edmondson, gets inside, throws it up wildly, ball hung on the rim for a while, comes down with Kennedy in possession. Now he's ahead of the pack, one-on-one against Andrew Kanik, soars inside, acrobatic layup. Jeannette has extended the lead, 47-44. What a take by Kennedy.
A really good take. Hard-fought defense by Edmondson, trying to get the block on him. Kennedy had a little bit of room to get that in.
Andrew Kanik trying to respond, shot a bit long from three-point range. Kennedy grabs it before it goes out of play. With Moon behind him, he dishes ahead, but it's tipped out of bounds. Good recovery by Khalil Smith. It will stay with Jeannette, 2:12 remaining. The Jayhawks up 47-44.
It's a huge basket made by Kennedy, making it a 3-point game, and now Jeannette has a chance, make it a 2-possession lead.
Salemi back onto the floor for the home team. Kennedy taking his time, he's gonna have to get it in quickly, just throws it underneath to Howard, who barely caught it. That one nearly went on the baseline. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Pruitt, he's been one of the best players in this fourth quarter, knocking down a pair of baseline jumpers. Kennedy gets a screen from Howard, drives to the foul line, dishes, had Sharp open, but they weren't on the same page for a turnover.
Wow, well that doesn't make Adrian Batts happy at all. Then they're trying to burn some clock and get an open look, and he's wide open, just doesn't go for the pass.
McCullough with the basketball. Howard giving him some room. Now he dribbles across the logo of the Eagles here at Serra Catholic High School, McKeesport. Just over a minute and a half remaining in regulation. It's a 3-point lead for Jeannette. Looking to take command of this section standings. Pass into Moon, tipped away. Good job of, I guess, sort of a three-quarter fronting that time by Trey Cunningham. Smith has it right in front of the official. 1:20 on the clock. Serra Catholic here looking like it's taking a lot of time. Now he takes a three. That one high off the rim, tipped around. Moon comes up with it momentarily. He's on the baseline, and now a foul called. That will be the 7th team foul against Jeannette, and will send Moon to the stripe. Charge to Kennedy. 1-on-1 scenario, and the foul shots late once again will come into play.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, 2 for 11 in the double overtime. Lost to Jeannette last time Serra Catholic played the Jayhawks. Now you're in crunch time. You got to make these free throws.
The first one is made by Moon, so he will have a second. 47-45, Jeannette up by 2. Moon can make it a 1-point game. 1:06 on the stopped clock. Rattled home. Moon goes 2 of 2 at the line. Timeout taken. 1:06 remaining. We'll keep it right here. 47-46, Jeannette in the lead. And now I'll ask you to sort of play the role of these coaches. For Jeannette, Greg, team up by 1, you have the basketball. What are you trying to do on this possession, and how long do you want this possession to be realistically?
Well, I think if you're Jeannette, you're playing keep away and you're trying not to turn the ball over, draw the foul, get to the free throw line. I mean, there's some fouls to give for Serra Catholic to send Jeannette to the free throw line, so you're going to have to foul a couple of times. But if you're Serra Catholic, you got to press, try and force a turnover, and if you can't, then you got to start fouling because you're down 1.
That was going to be exactly my point. With the ability to take 3 fouls before Jeannette gets into the bonus, you can really get super aggressive if you're a defensive player here for Serra Catholic trying to come up with a steal, right?
For sure, yeah, and you're going to be pressing. I mean, you go full court press here or a trap, try and get the ball out of the hands of Trey Cunningham. I mean, they've only shot 1 free throw, and it's from him. He's 1 of 1 from the free throw line, but I think he's had a very quiet second half. He only has 2 points, so I would imagine it's either going to be him or Kennedy, and Kennedy has the hot hand that's going to get the basketball here.
That's Greg Finley. I'm Sean Meyers. Chris Lackner manning the camera here in this terrific 2A Section 1 contest between Serra Catholic and Jeannette. Jayhawks with the basketball, holding a 1-point lead. Just over a minute remaining. There's a dangerous pass to Howard. He corrals it out, gets it to Kennedy into the front court. Kennedy drives baseline. Dishes a pass off, and now Jeannette set to reset. And a foul committed by Smith. That's just the 4th team foul. 52.4 seconds remaining. And if Jeannette plays hot potato here, the Jayhawks potentially could run another 15 or 20 seconds off before they head to the line, if that ultimately is the end game for this possession. Sharp in the backcourt. He's fouled. That one taken by McCullough.
Serra Catholic getting to the point now where they don't have an option. They have to foul.
And in the NBA, there's a scenario where if you take a second foul under 2 minutes, no matter how many team fouls you have, it would send the other team to the line.
Yes.
That's not a luxury here at the high school level, so Serra Catholic has Kennedy backdoor for a layup. What a possession. Kennedy unabated to the hoop. He snuck past the defenders, 49-46. Now a drive the other way, a lot of contact. As Smith was shooting, he's going to head to the line. Jeannette holding a 3-point lead, now less than 40 seconds left.
So they get Robert Kennedy for that one. Nope, just kidding.
It's Pruitt, that's his 4th.
I saw him put up a 1, but I think he threw a 5.
And Smith misses the first. After Jimmy Moon knocked down both of his foul shots, Smith misses the first. It's a 3-point game still in favor of Jeannette. Second one upcoming. That shot rattles out. Moon tips it around. Howard bats it out of his grasp. Jeannette with the basketball, and a quick foul taken by Serra Catholic.
Well, the Eagles had what they wanted. He missed the free throw. It went into the hands of Moon, but he loses the basketball coming down with it, and Jeannette ends up with it. Now a 3-point lead and the basketball.
16 fouls as the Jayhawks dangerously tightrope the line. Now the basketball is stolen. Edmondson has it. Dishes off to Smith. Quick trigger three-pointer comes up short. Right back to Smith. Straight on three-pointer. That one rattles around. Moon grasping four players go down. It's a jump ball. Which way's possession arrow going? It'll stay with Serra Catholic.
Well, Jeannette did the thing that you cannot do when the other team is trying to foul. And that's turn the ball over.
Now a timeout taken. The scoreboard indicating it's Serra Catholic's basketball. I believe that is the case.
Yeah, that's what the official Ralph Bowen pointed.
So if that's indeed correct, 21.1 seconds remaining. Serra Catholic in possession, down by 3 points. Do you have to get a three-pointer here?
I think so. I think you do need to get a three-pointer here.
Well, if that's the case, I think Moon's got to be the go-to weapon, right?
It's either going to be Moon or, yeah, I mean, it's got to be Moon. He has the three-pointers, and he's your star player, so I would agree with that. Now, if you're Jeannette, do you foul? Because it's a three-point game with 21 seconds left. If you foul, there's no chance to shoot the three-pointer. That might be why they called timeout.
I think that strategy could come into play maybe a little later. I don't think you would want to foul early in his possession because then Serra Catholic can certainly extend the game by fouling as well. Remember, the star player for Jeannette, Anthony Johnson, 6'4" junior, sidelined with an injury, has not played tonight. Jeannette trying to escape with a hard-fought road victory. They hold a three-point lead, but Serra Catholic has the basketball. Moon to trigger in. Gets it into Smith. Now McCall gets it back to Moon. Loses the basketball out of bounds. He was trying to step back three with two players tightly contesting him. Serra Catholic keeps possession, but now 15.3 seconds remain.
He had Howard up in the air. I think he was trying to draw a foul and get a shot off, and that wasn't going to happen. Ball got knocked out of bounds.
So Lemony trigger in. Tries to get his Smith. Did Howard steal it? He did. What a terrific play. Seth Howard stole it, threw it off a Serra Catholic Eagle for a turnover.
Great defensive stand by the Jayhawks.
Howard has just 2 points, but he has made several great defensive plays as Pruitt quickly fouled. Pruitt has been big in this fourth quarter, knocking down a pair of jumpers. Now he's going to head to the line, as that's the 17th foul. Salemi charged with that one. 11.5 seconds remaining. If he knocks down the first, Jeannette has to feel pretty good about its odds.
For sure. And take a two-possession lead with 11.5 left in this game.
It is a 1-and-1 scenario for Pruitt. Big pressure situation. He's just a sophomore. Nobody for Jeannette in the lane. And he hits it. He's leaning forward on the release, but it was good for Jackson Pruitt. And he was the hero the last time these teams met, correct? Am I right on that?
It was Shimon Jackson.
Okay, my mistake. Got my Jacksons mixed up. As the second one off the mark, it's a 4-point lead. Serra Catholic's Moon comes the other way, transition three. That one misses. Basketball tipped around. Jeannette comes down with it. Kennedy has it. Final seconds tick off. What a road victory for the Jeannette Jayhawks. 50-46. They escape Serra Catholic with the victory.
So hard-earned victory, and Seth Howard with the play on defense makes the steal as he's falling out of bounds, throws it off of a Serra Catholic Eagle, and then knocking down the free throw by Pruitt to seal this one.
We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the final scoring recap, a post-game interview, and our final thoughts. Once again, 50-46. Jeannette knocks off Serra Catholic in this great battle. It's 2017-18 WPIAL basketball. You're watching it here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Has a little something for everyone. Sports from high school to the pros. News from across the street and around the world. Arts and entertainment. Lifestyles. Opinion. Weather. Photo galleries. Video. You can even find your next job, house, and car. So look alive, Pittsburgh. Get the news you want and information you need all in one place. TribLive.com. TribLive.com. News and more 24/7.
For a weekly in-depth look at boys and girls high school basketball in the district, On to the WPIAL Roundball Report every Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Join experts Chris Harlan, Sean Meyers, and James Dotson for coaches' interviews and the latest hoops news around the WPIAL. Oh, and Don Rebel is back on the show as well. That's the WPIAL Roundball Report, Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
This is the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Sean Meyers, Greg Finley on the call. What a terrific contest here at Serra Catholic with the visiting Jeannette Jayhawks scoring a thrilling 50-46 victory. We'll get into the scoring recap momentarily. Hope to have a post-game interview with Adrian Batts as well. But first, Greg, your reaction to a terrific victory that once again came down to the wire for the Jayhawks.
That was a huge win by Jeannette here on the road, winning both games against Serra Catholic, now sole place of first place, and that steal by Seth Howard was so huge. It's a three-point game, trying to get the steal, and he does. Then as he's falling out of bounds, throws it off his teammate, and they get the ball back, and they knock down the free throw from Jackson Pruitt. You got to give it to Trey Cunningham, 20 points in this game. Without Anthony Johnson in the lineup, he stepped up huge, and so did Robert Kennedy with 14.
What does a game like this do for the confidence of Jeannette as the head coach just about set to join us winning without their best player?
I mean, you come into Serra Catholic, battle for first place, and you get the win without your top scorer on the team. That's a huge statement by Jeannette.
All right, we're now going to welcome in head coach Adrian Batts for the post-game interview sponsored by Carlow University as we're trying to, there we go, make it a little easier on you. Post-game interview sponsored by Carlow University, proud sponsor of all girls athletics here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. You come on the road without your best player. You're playing the other top team in this section. What does it mean to get this road victory?
This was huge. I mean, you know, a couple people counted us out. You know, I really don't watch. I guess Sarah got to change her name to Jeannette because she took Sarah over Jeannette in the Post-Gazette. So I had to get that out. Okay, but you know, our whole mindset was we had to be gritty, we had to be tough, and we knew. You know, we didn't have anybody to match up with his strength and his size. But I figured we could wear him down by putting him in a pick and roll. You noticed he got a little tired in the second half. So we had to wear him down. We didn't really get to get in our pressure because we didn't have a lot of depth today. Had two guys sick. Another guy has an ankle injury. So we were really limited. But I thought over and all, our guys just competed their rear ends off and played Jeannette basketball.
Your depth was tested, there's no doubt about it, but one of your reserves came through in a big way. Jackson Pruitt knocked down a pair of baseline jumpers in the fourth and hit the foul shot that I think really sealed the victory for you, making a two-possession game. What does that say to have a player come off the bench and hit some of the biggest shots of the entire game on the road?
Well, you know, he was struggling a little bit, and he missed a couple layups. And he's been doing that in the game, and I just said, listen, you got to believe in yourself because I believe in you. So when he came back in, coach, my assistant coach said, hey, give him a chance, give him a shot. So I turned around and said, are you ready to play? He said, yes. The final outcome was he hit two big shots and then a big free throw, like you said, that kind of sealed it for us.
Coach, 32 points in the last game for Trey Cunningham. He drops 20 tonight. Without Anthony Johnson Jr., what kind of player has Cunningham been for your team?
Well, before Anthony came back, he was the leading scorer. And, you know, Trey he was a little under the weather, so the kids kept saying he was going to have a flu game like Michael Jordan, pardon me, but I don't believe he had that many points, but he got us going early, and, you know, he was confident, and, you know, I'm just so proud of him. I mean, he's showing senior leadership, and it's just, you know, great to see.
How much is it going to take for you to make sure there's not a letdown from this game? Because I think that this is a game that everyone knew, your players, your fans knew it was going to be a massive game. Mm-hmm. You get the victory on the road, but you still have some more work to take care of in the section.
Oh, yeah. You know, listen, you got to remember, 18 of them are state champion football players. So they didn't have too many letdowns. So you believe that? I don't think we'll have any letdowns. Now, tomorrow's going to be tough because we got to play Franklin Regional, who's really good, be physical. But we'll get a chance to rest a little bit. Our game's not until 8:30. So I just don't see a letdown. We got, you know, our guys are competitors. You know, they got that championship mentality. So we'll keep playing. We know what the goal is ahead of us. And we'll just keep fighting for that.
We talked about the big storyline with Anthony sidelined. I know when I talked to you last week, you said probably time frame was about 2 to 10 days. Mm-hmm. He didn't play tonight. You guys were able to win without him. What's the prognosis as of now?
We won 3 without him.
Yeah.
So he says he'll be back next Friday. I really don't know how much he's going to play. I'd rather save him for the playoffs, get him a little bit of conditioning, and then we'll see from there. Obviously, he's a big plus to us, 19 points or whatever he averages, but he does a lot of other things that helps us go. So I think if him and Trey could get on the same page, I think we'll be pretty good, along with Robert Kennedy.
Lastly, the fan support for this road game. It seemed at times like the fans for Jeannette were just as loud as the Serra Catholic faithful. What does that mean for you and for your players?
That's huge for us, man. Jayhawk Nation came out, and we knew they were going to come. You know, just like we played Leechburg, we had a huge crowd. You know, they come for the kids, support the kids. They support me, so I'm really appreciative of our fans.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on a victory. Enjoy it before you have to turn around and play again tomorrow.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, guys.
Head coach Adrian
Coach.
Batts, kind enough to join us here for the post-game interview sponsored by Carlow University, which is the proud sponsor of all girls athletics here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. That takes care of one matter of business. Now let's take a look at the scoring recap. That, of course, sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, which is powering to stay strong and play on program here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Now 20 points for Trey Cunningham for the Jeannette Jayhawks, leading them in scoring. Robert Kennedy with 14. He comes in second in scoring for the Jayhawks. 4 points for Marcus Barnes and 5 for Jackson Pruitt, including the game-sealing free throw. For Serra Catholic, led by Jimmy Moon with 22 points, Malik Edmondson with 12, 4 points for Khalil Smith, 3 for Andrew Kanik, 2 for Bernard Lawson, and 2 for Salemi.
All right, that's the scoring recap. Of course, sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, powering to stay strong and play on program here with the Trib Live High School Sports Network. With the victory, Jeannette moves to 14-2, 8-1 in this section. Serra Catholic, with the setback, falls to 8-2 in the section, 15-3 overall. So right now, Jeannette holding the head-to-head tiebreaker and one up in the loss column over their adversaries. We talked about what's next, but just to recap it, tomorrow a tournament game for Jeannette. They play against Franklin Regional at Seton Hill University, and that same tournament will host Serra Catholic, who will play against an awfully good Indiana team, one of the top teams in the 4A classification. Franklin Regional, one of the best in 5A. So it'll be strong test for both these squads tomorrow. But what do these teams need to do going forward now that Jeannette has kind of the inside path for the section, but Serra Catholic still has a lot of opportunity in front of it as well?
Well, Jeannette's got to just focus on winning all these games, because if Serra Catholic can win 2 and Jeannette loses 1, then Serra Catholic could jump Jeannette. You have to win if you're Jeannette, and you have to try and win off your Serra Catholic. You can only do so much and not focus about the other teams. You got to do what you got to do first, and that's win for these two teams.
Well, Jeannette able to win here tonight once again, 50-46, the final score. Greg, it was a pleasure working with you for the first time. I think the first of many here together. I also want to thank our videographer, Chris Lackner, manning the camera, for doing a great job as always tonight. That's going to do it. Once again, your final score, 50-46 here, Jeannette knocking off Serra Catholic. You've been watching 2017-18 WPIAL basketball. It's been here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Good night, everybody.
You have been listening to WPIAL Basketball 2017-2018 here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by AstroTurf, by Carlow University, proud sponsor of the 2018 WPIAL Girls Basketball Playoffs, and by Trib Total Media. You can follow the 2017-2018 WPIAL boys and girls basketball season every day by logging on to tribhssn.triblive.com. The preceding has been a special presentation of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.